Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and it's not just any video. Today I will be talking to you about boss mode. That is a new fun mode that we're going to get, and I will be explaining to you how it all works and what to think about and all of that. So basically we got together like a week ago with some wargaming stuff and a lot of content creators from multiple regions, and we basically did like countdowns like this, and we just entered the battle together and played boss mode for a while. So we haven't been able to release the footage in the description yet, but we are allowed to now when you see this video, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't release it. And here you go, I'm going to give you an extensive explanation of boss mode. So boss mode is mode that can be played in tiers 5 through 10. The battles last 9 minutes, and obviously, like, because it's a fun mode, it doesn't affect your stats at all. There's one boss that is chosen in the beginning of the battle. The choice is totally random, so there's nothing like you can do to make your chance of being the boss higher in any way. So basically just like you have to get lucky to be the boss. At the same time though, there are mods, as Wargaming calls them. I prefer to call them minions. And they have powers of their own. There's 4 different types. You have the regenerator, the graviton, the bomber, and the catalyst. And basically everything has their own skill set and stuff can happen, and that makes for an interesting game. The way to win the game is to get 30 points. And you get 30 points by killing people. You get 1 point for every minion or mod that is killed, and you get 5 points for the boss that is killed. Minions can respawn indefinitely, like however much they want, and the boss can only respawn 2 times. So you have 3 lives basically. You die for the 3rd time and you're dead. Now, you might have already noticed it because this is the 2nd time I die. Whenever you die, you get a different skill set when you're a mod. Basically now I'm moving into the graviton thing. Before I was a bomber, and I've been basically, you get a different role with different skills, and every time you die and you load in, you see that little thing that you just saw where your skills are explained and everything. So basically everything I will be talking to you about in this video, you can also find in that, but at the same time I will give my thoughts as well, and maybe that makes it worth watching this video. Now, let's go over the rules and the powers that come with it. Basically, the boss, like I said, is chosen randomly at the beginning of the battle, and it's the only skill set that doesn't change when you respawn. Once you are the boss in a battle, you stay the boss in a battle. So that's something to keep in mind. When you are the boss, you have quadruple the health points of your tank. You get a great boost to the main tech characteristics, such as reload time, engine power, damage per shot, and max speed. You have basically every tank has a passive ability and active ability, and the active ability of the boss is Blast Wave. It pushes and deals damage to enemies around you. It's pretty useful when you get surrounded, Wargaming says. The area and radius to the effect is limited, so the enemy tanks must be quite close to the boss. It kind of reminds me of how Bomber works a little bit, only there's like a shockwave involved, so that makes it different. And the passive ability of the boss is Mega Shot. This is activated automatically when it's loaded, and it's kind of like what you get with Inferno and Lightning in the Mad games and everything. It kind of works similarly, just it's different of course. It fires a shot that literally pierces through all enemies in line of sight and deals damage to them. When the Mega Shot is ready to be fired, sparks and lightnings appear on the gun barrel. Track its cooldown using the little icon at the bottom of the screen. Like I said, in Mad games you see similar stuff with some of the skills. Try to discharge the Mega Shot at a group of tanks placed one behind the other to damage all of them, or at the tank with the highest HP count nearby to deal damage efficiently, Wargaming says. Now, I've not been the boss, unfortunately, during all the games that we had this night, so that didn't really help. But I did play pretty much all the other roles. So the biggest thing to remember about the boss though is that the boss is always spotted. Like you see on the minimap, regardless of what time in the battle you're at and everything, the boss is always spotted. So you always know where your enemy boss is. You do not know where the minions are. They might be unspotted and can be anywhere, but the bosses are always visible. So that is very important to remember. And as I said, the boss can only respawn twice. So that means that if you kill the enemy boss 3 times, they're definitely dead. But you've also gotten 15 points now, which is like half the battle you need. So keep that in mind when you're the boss. You need to stay alive, because dying basically gives your enemy team 5 points, and then the points go up quite quickly. And of course, as the boss, you will be focused, so that's something to mind as well. This is still really funny, because I didn't expect that this would actually happen, but I get chased and I actually die. And it's a draw. We actually end up in a draw in this battle, which was, to be honest, really funny. Now, to continue talking about the skills, we're going to go to the mod skills. Like, when you get killed as a mod, you give the enemy 1 point, so also there, try and stay alive. Of course, you will die, and that's okay, but keep your boss alive and all of that. But you do need to be careful. Now, the graviton is by far my favorite skill in this game. And I say that mainly because it's just really good fun. Like, in the beginning, it's not that powerful, but when you play with the mods, your skills level up. As you do damage and time passes and all of that, and you get kills, the skills that you have level up. So right now, I'm a level 1 graviton, and that's not going to do all that much. But as I will do damage, it still works a little bit at least. As I do damage, it will get higher, and the tanks will get stuck closer together, and more tanks will get sucked in and everything. So that is important as well. Anyhow, the active ability of the graviton is the gravitrap. Fire a shot with gravitrap activated at a tank or ground to create a gravitational trap where all tanks nearby are drawn at. It's like a micro black hole. The trap vehicles can't move or aim, so the allies can do easy damage and destroy the helpless foes, Wargaming says. Great ability to be used against groups of enemies or the boss from the opposite team. Now, I mostly agree with that part. You can actually still do stuff when you're trapped in gravity, in the gravitrap. But you have to be like super focused there, and it isn't easy to get shots in, let's put it that way. The passive ability of the graviton is kinetic shield. It reduces all damage received during the battle. However, you still have to be careful and avoid close combat, Wargaming says. Better stick to creating gravitational traps from medium or long distances. Now, I definitely disagree with that, because whether you're a close combat tank or a far combat tank, I think that mainly depends on the driver that you are and the tank that you're driving, and not so much your skill, because I found that this skill can be incredibly effective also far away and close by. So yeah, use it as you see fit. It can work beautifully from any distance. You saw the lightning miss me there. That was the grill boss from the enemy team that was really trying to shoot me, and I'm very lucky that he missed me. Now, the second skill that I want to talk about is the catalyst. The active ability of the catalyst is the poison shot, and when activated it provides your shots not only with regular instant damage, but also with poisoning continuous damage, Wargaming says, depleting enemy HP for some period after the vehicle was hit. Now what this basically, I got like bossed now. But yeah, what this basically means, it's kind of like creating an engine fire. The enemy's HP goes down a certain amount of time with a certain amount of HP. Now, this would probably piss people off if not for the fact that there's just like the fact that you will respawn indefinitely and you don't have to be careful that much in this game mode. The passive ability of the catalyst is, as an active shooter, the catalyst gets bonuses to the aiming time, gun reload time, and base damage dealt. So basically you just do more damage. In this case I'm a bomber, and at this stage I don't find the bomber skill all that active, but I will talk about that a little bit more later. But right now he's like really stuck, and I just blow myself up and then I GM some more, and I do feel for the poor guy. But yeah, basically with the catalyst you poison people and you eat away. It's kind of like, just consider you do an engine fire with when you have it activated. The most important part to remember with any of these things, like with both the catalyst and the gravitrap and everything, you have to activate the skill and then shoot, because otherwise it's not going to work. Basically the poison or the graviton thing, it moves with your shot towards where you're shooting. So activate it first, then shoot, then the skill actually works. Now, the third power that you can get in this mode is regenerator. And the regenerator is, as Wargaming says, a very special mod. Unlike others, this is a defensive class. While regenerators can damage enemies, they can also heal the allies when firing shots at them. This is basically, again, Mac Games skills kind of stuff, so that's something, it can be very useful. And especially when you have an effective healer, it's very nice. That being said, though, I'm always, well, worried is not the right word, but like worried about people using this skill just to heal people and not actually trying to play. That's basically just sort of like sidetrack here. My biggest pet peeve with the fun modes is that people don't actually try to play. They, like, when in gravity mode, they will launch themselves from somewhere and just go, "Wee, I can fly!" And yes, you can fly, but it's still a competitive game and you're supposed to try and win. So yes, have fun with it, but at the same time, at least still play. And that's generally the reason that I rarely play fun modes aside from Uprising. And Uprising is mainly just because I can make enough of a difference with the teammate that I have to basically negate whatever the derpers do. But that's not really always the case. And oof, that was a big hit by the boss, by the way. But that's something that I really do not like about the fun modes. The fact that people just don't even try, really. And they just derp and YOLO and don't try to actually play. The thing is, when I play these kind of modes seriously, I can have a lot of fun with them. But I have a lot of fun with my tanks having weird abilities and being able to do weird things. I don't actually have fun when I just fly around and don't do really anything. To be fair, that is one of the reasons why I really hope that Wargaming will bring fun modes to training rooms at some point. A, for the tournament potential that you have then, but B, also that people can get that stuff out of the way, and when they actually play the mode, they can play the mode. But yeah, that's my complaining about that a little bit over, hopefully. Let's get back to the skills. Like I said, we have the regenerator, and the active ability is the restoration zone. When activated, it creates a healing area which restores allies' HP within its range and negates the effect of the catalyst poison shot. Use Restoration Zone to a group of teammates to support their attack or defense while shooting at them with your healing shots. 2 Restoration Zones from 2 Regenerators provide a strong double healing effect. Basically, it's a bit like what happens with Mac Games when you shoot people and you heal them and all of that. Just differently, obviously. And the passive ability of the Regenerator is Energy Shield. It is activated by shooting an allied vehicle just like the healing shot, and protects it from taking damage and enemy abilities for one time. So basically, if you heal one of your teammates at least once, you get a shield around you, and there is a cooldown on it, and if people shoot you, then the shield is gone. But like, it will protect you from one shot of whatever damage that would be. Now, healing shot you can use whenever, and I'm not sure how often you get a shield. Like, I'm not sure if you can like reactivate the shield or the timer when you heal someone. But yeah, Wargaming says, unlike the healing shot, the energy shield activated is limited by a cooldown period. So probably like you can heal someone, but you can't automatically recharge it. At least not like instantly. Now, the final skill that I wanted to talk about, and I'm using that mainly here because this is basically the battle where I use that the most, is the bomber. I'm currently a bomber, and I'm currently a level 1 bomber, and I found that this skill is pretty useless to have in the beginning. Once it goes up to level 4, then it becomes interesting, but until then, it's not really all that interesting, and you kind of just have to play more normally. There is, of course, some advantages to having it, obviously, which I'll talk about. The active ability of the bomber is Big Bang. Activated to explode and deal damage to all enemies close to you. And I did just that, but it didn't really do any damage because A, it was only level 2, and B, I wasn't close by enough. The bomber tank is not destroyed after this blast, and the Big Bang can be activated multiple times if you manage to escape. Now, this is not really an escapes thing, but I found that it's very useful later on. Like I said, I've got multiple instances in this battle that shows how effective bomber can be. And the passive ability of the bomber is that it gets speed and engine power boost, so my tank is more mobile. And I saw that whenever I leveled up, like my tank suddenly gets faster, especially for a little while, but overall it gets faster as well. And Wargaming says the bomber, unlike most other roles, is meant for close encounters, so it's very efficient against enemy groups. in some cases it's more preferable to sacrifice the bomber and use a big bang at a tight group of tanks to stop their attack and save the other boss than trying to damage like a regular tank. And that's something I can see the potential of. Like right now I'm at skill level 3. But you will see later on when I hit 4 how much damage I do. And it's very, very good fun. Now, the boss is stuck in the graviton, so I decide to just get my shots in there. And I'm just... Basically, I'm playing this pretty carefully. Now, they've got a graviton activated as well. But since I'm pretty far away and it's not that strong yet, I can handle it quite nicely. Now, in this case, I explode just as he drives past me. And they are focusing me. I am going to die here. But that was an effective bomber. That's what I mean. Like, once you get to higher levels, this skill can be very, very useful. That being said, though, by far my favorite skill is the graviton. Especially when it reaches level 4 or 5. It's just really good fun. You see the tanks get stuck together. And especially when you're driving a clipper. What you can basically do is just use that skill to suck the tanks together. And then you clip them out. You empty your clip in them. And this just makes it very, very useful. This is, however, a mode that I think that I will mostly be playing in a tune. To get like the same thing that even when my teammates completely YOLO, I might be able to do enough and make enough of a difference to actually win the game. In this case, I have a poison shot and I'm not sure I did activate it, I think, but he got healed. And I die again, so I'm going to respawn again and I'm back to the bomber. And this is again... Bomber can be nice once you level up, like I said. And this game has been relatively passive from my gameplay. But I've actually used this replay mainly for one specific instance. And you will know it when you see it. Because there's been quite some funny moments happening. And yeah, it's been fun. Overall though, playing this mode was quite fun with the people that we had and all of it. We were on voice together, a mixture of English and Russian, which was quite interesting as well. And just pretty much all of it together, it was fun. And there is potential to this game mode. I'm really hoping that I will end up liking it. And I say that mainly because I'm just always like, when people are just quite randomly YOLOing about and everything, I don't like it as much. This is Bomber that works. Like, I'm now at level 4 and it's really nice. And now we get graviton, so we need to be careful there. Luckily, I'm being healed as I stand there. And no one is shooting us for some reason. But yeah, basically recap, mods have special skills. You get an explanation of the skill whenever you respawn, so read that as you respawn. This moment is what I was talking about. That was hilarious, and I got the bomb him as well, which was quite effective, I might say. And then I kept him from getting away so that I could kill him. But yeah, anyhow, keep in mind, if you're the boss and you die, the enemy gets 5 points. They only need 30 points to win the game. For every mod that is killed, you gain 1 point, or the enemy gains 1 point. In this case, I'm going absolutely YOLO, mainly because I'm not used to the speed and I'm not paying enough attention, so I will die very quickly here. But we will win before I respawn, so there is that. So yeah, all in all, that is basically my review from Bossmode. Read the instructions as they come into the screen like this. It is fairly self-explanatory to play. Keep an eye on the points, try not to die and try to get the kill shots, because those are very important here. And use your skills effectively. Like I said, for me, the bomber is lovely when you're late game or later game. And graviton is by far my favorite skill set. That's it for this review though. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you guys the next time again. Bye bye!